Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going.
A firestorm of anti-Somali racism is spreading online and increasingly offline across the US. It didn't appear overnight, it has been building for years, amplified by some of the most powerful voices in US politics and social media, including President Donald Trump and Elon Musk, the world's richest man and owner of X, formerly Twitter. For years, Donald Trump has repeatedly attacked Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, the first Somali American elected to Congress. Over time, these attacks expanded beyond Omar herself, increasingly targeting Somali Americans as a community.
And the Somalians should be out of here. They've destroyed our country.
Right-wing influencer Nick Shirley recently traveled to Minneapolis and claimed without evidence that Somali-run daycare centers had misappropriated more than $100 million in public funds. It is true that Minnesota has been conducting a federal fraud investigation since around 2022. That bipartisan investigation has led to dozens of convictions, including of individuals of Somali background. However, state regulators have inspected the specific daycare centers highlighted in Shirley's video and reported that they were operating as expected, and authorities have not publicly confirmed criminal fraud tied to those centers. Despite this, Shirley's video exploded online, garnering nearly 140 million views on X and more than 3 million views on YouTube. Following Shirley's video, Trump renewed calls for the deportation of Ilhan Omar and Somali immigrants more broadly.
Somalians are ripping off our country to the tune of, looks like $19 billion.
His administration also moved to freeze Minnesota's federal childcare funding and set a deadline of January the 9th for the state to provide detailed documentation on recipients of those funds, including evidence of how the money was allocated and used, or risk losing access to approximately $185 million in federal support. Meanwhile, conservative journalists and right-wing influencers have begun turning up outside Somali-run daycare centers and other businesses across multiple states. They have demanded interviews, asked to see children, and confronted staff. Actions Somali Americans describe as intimidation and harassment.
Not really American, you're a criminal.
The consequences are already visible: a surge in threatening phone calls, online abuse, and even the vandalization of a daycare center. At the same time, Shirley's claims are being increasingly scrutinized. CBS News reviewed nearly a dozen daycare centers named in his video and found that all but 2 were properly licensed, all had been inspected within the last 6 months, and none showed evidence of fraud. Given recent escalations, many fear that the Trump administration, alongside the US right-wing social media sphere, is gambling with the safety of Somali Americans.